Hey, it's Grims here, and this is Coach an Old Man to Grand Champ. Yeah, I'm that old man. I need to be coached. I mean, I'm not a senior citizen, but let's just put it this way. This game was one of my favorite games as a kid. So when you think of the average age of Rocket League players, that makes me pretty damn old. Now, I've been playing Rocket League since about 2016, and I absolutely love this game. It's so fun and competitive, but for the last few seasons, I've made it up to champ, I've gotten the rewards, and then I end up going back down to diamond. Sometimes even diamond 1, but we don't talk about that. I've decided that I'm going to change this. What I plan to do is every week I'm going to hire a different coach to do a replay review. At the end of the session, I will ask the coach to recommend what things I should practice throughout the week. Then, at the end of the week, I will put all this to the test. I will join one Grand Champion lobby with a friend who is at that level and see how I do. So the first week's coach is Hellfire. He has lots of experience in both Rocket League and coaching. His price is also very reasonable. Let's see how my first coaching session went.
So right off the bat, you did make a mistake here, and I wouldn't mention it if it wasn't a big mistake, because this is just a bad habit to get into, is right now you've got a teammate on the more left-hand side of the field, and you're the last one back coming in. You actually came from corner boost, so it's more like that. And so you have this integral defensive positioning on any ball that heads toward net. So whenever you jump and fly for this guy can easily shoot it over past you and past your teammate right below you. Right now you are using a decent amount of boost to rotate back, which is fine, but you have all these pad options in front of you, and you missed the closest one. You missed one right here, and I think when you turn you might have missed that one too. Oh, you did go for this one. This one's good. But what I would have personally done if you wanted to turn, you'd take this exact route to grab as many pads as possible. That is plus 36 boost on top of your 45. Another habit I want to mention here is if I turn on spectator ball cam, that ball gets hit to the side of the play. Right now, you could not see what's happening here. Your camera is like down over here. So what you actually could be doing is, rather than taking yourself way out of the play for that boost, you could actually be moving back on these pads and staying more relevant to the play on this side of the field.
I'm starting to see a pattern here. I really thought I was pretty good at picking up pads, but apparently I'm really not.
I do not personally recommend hitting the brakes here and then doing a half flip. Half flipping is good, but in my opinion, it's very overrated. What I would have actually recommended to do is one of two things, but they both utilize the same technique, is to literally just do a really sharp turn back the other way, either or, depending on which judgment you deem is better.
Here is a great example of a technique that Hellfire, and I'm sure a lot of coaches, use.
A bit more obvious with this overhead view. Right here, I'm going to assume that you know how to wave dash, but if you were to jump off the wall and wave dash and go back like this, rather than jumping off and then going sideways and then going wide, you could see how you'd be right here ready within a short amount of time.
Totally.
Another small habit thing you should get into, because this guy was cheating up, you're never going to be able to beat this guy to the ball, and especially right now because you can't really read him and his dribbling capabilities, I would actually recommend going for it a little bit longer and then turning back to just make sure that you are threatening to him, because he sees you moving toward him, but his prediction is going to be like, he's going to challenge me right now because he can read me. May I ask why you jumped there?
As I was doing it, I realized it was pointless.
This just seems like I'm itching to touch this ball.
He was 100% right. Ball chasing at its finest.
So right here, this is a habit you need to get into.
Okay.
Bifo is very close to the ball, and this is obviously his ball, and he's obviously taking up the wall. Every single time in this situation, especially as last man, and second and first man, you have more leeway here, but especially as third man, never go up the wall. Turn back and go to net and give full respect to this wall. Same concept from before. Right here, this guy is very obviously beating you. I'd give respect to that. You've already appeared threatening because you're going toward it. I'd just turn around. You've served your purpose. I'm not even going to draw arrows. I'm just going to let it play out, and you'll just see how obvious.
I would have been there a long time ago.
So much time has passed. So much time. You actually would have had time to go for corner boost if that corner boost was there.
I could have gone and made a sandwich, and I still would have been there.
Exactly! Make a sandwich, chow down on it, freaking drink a glass of wine, come back. Oh, I'm here to save the ball.
Just a note, my initial idea was to use the Grand Champ game from the previous week for the replay review, so this game was actually at the Champ 3 Grand Champ level. After taking advice from multiple coaches, going forward I'm going to use replays from my current rank because this is the best way to improve. We ended up having to cut the replay short because we ran out of time, but Hellfire stuck around to show me a few things to practice.
Alright, so the technique I'm talking about with power sliding is, the way I presume that you try to power slide is closer to this, or actually maybe a little bit different, probably more like this, where you let go and it snaps and you go back this way, right?
So, yeah, something like that.
This quick snap still is mostly a break. It is not keeping your momentum in any capacity. Now, this is why half flipping is favorable, because when you half flip, you can at least go back the other direction with boost. There is just one simple method that changes your power slide timing from holding power slide until around here for the diamond level, here for the bronze level. But you actually want to change your timing to here, near 80 degrees from your original vector. Like that. As for, in terms of what I analyzed in your replay, I think your biggest thing that you need to work on is most likely your... I think the one that's having the biggest impact is your third man decision making, of just flying for things early and just not having patience in net and just waiting for the other players to go for it instead. Oh, and one last thing to work on, for sure. Give respect to players on the wall. He's got the ball, turn around, go back to net, and just wait for the wall touch and then punish them.
So every day I practiced what Hellfire told me to, and I kept in mind all the things he taught me. I'd like to show you a direct result of his teachings. It was only the second ranked game I joined, and this happened. Right here, the diamond in me really wants to go challenge that ball, but instead I didn't, and this is what happened. To demonstrate how much more I'm going for boost pads, I'm going to show you a clip here at double speed. Just listen to all those boost pad noises. Sounds good, doesn't it? So I was doing pretty good throughout the week, and then something I didn't expect happened midweek. I made it back into champ. After weeks of being in diamond, I'm back in champ. Now, I was totally expecting to eventually go back down into diamond, but another surprise happened at the end of the week. I ended up getting champ 2. Now, the highest I've ever been is champ 1 division 2. Now, all of a sudden, I'm in champ 2. It's time for my Grand Champ game with my buddy Mimsy. He's currently in Champ 3, but we're right there below Grand Champ.
Nice. Nice hit.
Thank you. Oh, I just missed it.
It's the right idea, though.
So the game ended up being pretty close, but in the end we lost with an unfortunate demo.
Oh no.
So, from my experience this week, I feel getting coached is very beneficial. If you've considered getting coached, I highly recommend you give it a try. I will put a link to Hellfire's Gamers Ready profile in the description. Hit subscribe and let's see if I continue climbing or if I fall back down to diamond. See you then.